Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, March the 19th, 2015. Final results of Israel's election were released today from the country's Central Election Committee after counting an additional 200,000 absentee ballots, which included those of IDF soldiers, diplomats serving abroad, prisoners, and voters who are hospitalized and seriously ill. As reported yesterday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud party received 30 seats, Zionist Union 24. The third largest party, the Joint Arab List, went down from 14 to 13 seats. Yesh Atid stayed with 11, Kulanu 10, the Jewish Home with 8, Shas with 7, Yisrael Beitenu and United Torah Judaism each with 6 seats, and Meretz went up from 4 seats to 5 seats. According to the Israel Democracy Institute, the voter turnout for Tuesday's election was said to have been the highest since 1999, with 72.3% of eligible voters casting their ballots. Unofficial coalition negotiations are already underway, and Israeli President Reuven Rivlin is set to meet with representatives of the elected parties this Sunday. And U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry called Prime Minister Netanyahu yesterday to congratulate him on his win. And White House spokesman Josh Earnest said yesterday that President Barack Obama would also be calling Netanyahu in the coming days. Earnest also expressed concern, as did spokeswoman Jen Psaki at her press briefing earlier yesterday, over Netanyahu's remarks during his election campaign that a Palestinian state would not be formed under his leadership. Psaki said based on the Prime Minister's comments, the U.S. is in a position going forward in which we will be evaluating our approach with regards to how best to achieve a two-state solution, adding that the fact that Netanyahu has changed his opinion certainly has an impact. Psaki also said that though that close military intelligence and security cooperation with Israel would remain unchanged regardless of what government was formed. And looking at other news now, a Palestinian driver was arrested and taken for questioning after he allegedly intentionally tried to run over a group of Israeli soldiers at an intersection in the West Bank on Tuesday. One IDF soldier was hit but did not require medical attention. Police in Denmark have arrested a fourth man suspected of helping the terrorist who killed 2 people in Copenhagen last month. On February the 14th, Omar el-Hussein killed a filmmaker at a free speech event and hours later shot volunteer Jewish security guard Dan Uzan outside Copenhagen's main synagogue. El-Hussein was later killed in a police shootout. 3 men have already been arrested on suspicion of helping el-Hussein. The 4th man is said to be facing a hearing tomorrow. French comedian Dieudonné Mabala, who has a history of anti-Semitic and hate speech, was found guilty yesterday of condoning terrorism. Mabala had posted messages on social media sympathizing with the Islamist gunman who had killed 4 Jews at the Hypercacher kosher supermarket in Paris in January. He was given a suspended 2-month jail sentence by a Paris court. Mabala has been convicted 7 times for inciting racial hatred against Jews and charged almost 40 times under France's hate speech laws. 3 swastikas were spray-painted in the building of the Jewish fraternity house Alpha Epsilon Pi at Vanderbilt University Saturday night, found in the building's elevator and on a basement door. The Tennessee school condemned the incident and is investigating it as a hate crime. And the Miami Herald reports that hateful and threatening messages were found at B'nai Sfaradim, a Sephardic synagogue in Hollywood, Florida. Vandals spray-painted the messages in an area of the synagogue that is under construction sometime overnight Monday. The Anti-Defamation League's Florida Regional Director Chava Holzauer said the vandalism is not only that of physical damage to a place of worship, but also emotional damage. Hollywood Police Chief Frank Fernandez said yesterday that his department takes any type of hate messages very seriously. He said there is no room for such hate in the community, and he promised a thorough investigation. Over 1,200 people attended an Aliyah mega event in New York City on Sunday, which was organized by Nefesh B'Nefesh and the Jewish Agency for Israel. Also, as well as Israel's Ministry of Aliyah and Immigrant Absorption, Karen Kayemet LeYisrael, and JNF USA. The event was held at the Crown Plaza in Times Square, where participants interested in making Israel their home took part in seminars and workshops to learn more about issues like healthcare in Israel and insurance. And Israeli professionals were on hand from various fields to help prospective Olim become more informed and assist in their Aliyah plans. And turning now to our programming for tonight, Thursday, March the 19th, coming up at 8 o'clock, the American Jewish Committee's Evening of Solidarity with Denmark after the deadly attacks in Copenhagen last month. At 9 o'clock, Mark Golub sits down with author Juliana Mayo on her historical novel City of the Sun, being expelled from Egypt and her Sephardic Jewish background. That's on L'chaim. And then at 10 tonight, our coverage of the Jerusalem Unity Prize ceremony, held in memory of the 3 slain teenagers who were kidnapped and murdered. The families of the 3 boys and Jerusalem's mayor Nir Barkat participate. That's tonight on JBS and jbstv.org. And coming up right after the news tonight, a new segment of In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, March the 19th, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader.